Hey, my name's Dan Westfall. My company's Client Focused Financial. So the topic I want to talk to you today about is what I refer to as middle bucket investing. So if you're not sure what a middle bucket investment is, you're not the only person because it's just something that I came up with. The idea of it though is that you have three main buckets that your money's going to be in. So you have your long-term bucket, which that would be like things like 401ks, IRAs. You know, if you're saving for your kids' college and they're 2 years old, it could be a college savings fund like a 529 plan or a UGMA account. And on the other end of things, you have your short-term savings. So that's like stuff that you plan on spending in the next year, or this could be referred to as an emergency fund account that in case something happens, you're able to go in there and quickly access it. That's basically money that you're going to leave sitting at your credit union or your bank. So the problem is though, if you were to leave too much of your money in a credit union or a bank, you're not going to get paid for the amount of money that you have sitting in there because interest rates are so low right now. So the idea behind a middle bucket investment is really it's that money that maybe just sitting in your savings account where you're like, well, I'm not going to use this for another 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the road, but you want it to actually grow. But you don't want to lock it up within an IRA or a 401k account that for you, if you're a 30-year-old, is going to be 30 years down the road, or a 40-year-old is 20 years, 50, 10 years, so on and so forth. So, you know, the idea behind the money, the middle bucket account would really be to simply have that money invested in something that's going to grow and make interest, so your money's not sitting there stagnant within a bank account. So these middle bucket accounts can be anything that is super conservative, that isn't going to have a whole lot of fluctuation with the markets or economy, or it can be just as aggressive as your money that's in your IRA or your 401k. Really just varies on you, your goals, ultimately your time frame on when you plan on using the money. So it's a very versatile type of investment strategy. So the idea behind putting money in there would be that you can get at it at any point in time either. So with most investment accounts, whether you're doing it yourself or you're working through a financial advisor like me, you're able to basically make a trade on the investment and get the money out of the account within just about 3 days after that money settles. So that's across the board, whether you're doing it yourself through TD Ameritrade or Schwab, or working with an advisor that works through one of those platforms. So the money is very liquid generally, unless you're to come up or work with some advisor that sticks you in some non-liquid investment, which for us here at Client Focused Financial, we don't deal with stuff like that because ultimately those are generally products that are commission based. So we don't deal with stuff like that because we're fiduciaries for our clients, basically meaning we work in your best interest. So if you have any specific questions for any of that stuff revolving around a middle bucket account, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to go over some ideas that may work specifically for you. Keep in mind, if you're doing this yourself, that taxes do come into play with this because middle bucket accounts are taxable investment accounts. So you have to consider, depending on what your tax bracket is, if you're putting money into an investment that's paying a lot in dividends or interest, that money is taxable at your ordinary income level, versus if you're putting something that's in an investment where it's more growth oriented, you're more worried about capital gains tax down the road, which is always taxed at a lower rate than your income tax bracket. So just keep in mind, taxes are a consideration with a middle bucket account, which that's why it makes for a little bit more tricky investment planning, but it's also a lot better than just leaving money sitting in a savings account making pennies. So if you have questions, again, feel free to reach out to me, DM me, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you, but appreciate you taking the time to check me out.